So let's go to this left column here, the far left column. We're going to click in this audio effects box. And let's go to reverb in stereo. And right here, we're going to add a little bit of reverb to this track. So on the top here, you can click on room, and I think we're going to choose theater. And to adjust the reverb, let's go down to this dry and wet section here. So the more wet a sound is, the more reverb effects you're going to get in it. So we're going to increase one and decrease the other. And let's play it back and see how it sounds. And I love this little animation. That's pretty cool. All right, that sounds pretty good. I think I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, so I actually forgot to save this. Let's go ahead and save this song really quick. Okay, let's save it to the desktop. We'll just call this tutorial 1. All right, so going back to mixing and mastering here, on the second column on the far left, that's your stereo out. And in this column, the effects applied to this column affect the overall song. So not just the individual track like what we did a few minutes ago. So let's go and click on this mastering button here. And that's going to bring up this window here. It's going to analyze our song so far. But yeah, so this mastering window is a really quick and easy way to get your song to sound a little louder, a little more clear, a little more polished. We're going to adjust the spread so it's more in the middle. Okay, that's pretty good for now. So we might come back to that, but let's add our second track. So we're going to click this little plus icon here. That's going to bring up options for our second track. So you have your 4 choices here. We're going to stick with MIDI. And we're going to, instead of doing Opus, we're going to select Empty Channel Strip. Now this allows us to select all of the built-in instruments within Logic Pro. So we're going to add a piano here. So let's search for piano. And some of these down here actually sound really good. So let's click this one and let's test and see how it sounds. All right, I think that's good. I think we're going to stick with that. And let's go ahead and apply some reverb to it. Make it sound a little fuller, a little more epic, I guess. And before I record, I like to practice a little bit with the first track just to make sure I know what I'm playing when it comes to recording. That sounds good. All right, let's go ahead and record. Click the record button. Okay, and as I'm recording, you're seeing this angular bar graph that's going up and down. That's Logic Pro reading every time I press down on the sustain pedal on my keyboard. So that's all that is. All right, so I like how that sounds. Let's go ahead and click on the plus icon again. And let's go down, let's click the drop-down menu and go back to EastWest and Opus. And we have our Opus window pop up again. So let's go down to, I think we're going to add some strings, maybe some low bass or cello strings here. This one, and right away, although this sounds great, the beginning of these notes are pretty harsh, and my song doesn't really match the mood of this performance. So we're going to make some adjustments here. So we need to adjust the beginning of these notes. It comes in a little too instant, I guess. And the great thing about EastWest and Opus is the UI are just amazing when it comes to adjusting the attack, the hold, the decay, the sustain, the release, all that stuff. All those little knobs you see there under that graph, we're going to adjust some of those. All right, so let's bring back the attack, and that's basically the beginning of the note, the beginning of each note. So we want it to fade in slightly, but not too slow. But we don't want that really harsh beginning. Okay, that sounds pretty good. I'm liking where that's going. All right, so I think I'm ready to record. Let's go ahead and click record. All right, that sounds good. Let's add a little bit of reverb to this as well. And one note on reverb, you can add reverb to individual tracks, or you can add reverb to the entire song after you've recorded it in that stereo out column where we did mastering. I personally like to add reverb to each individual track because there might be some instruments where I want a little bit less or a little bit more, but you know, it could just be down to preference, but that's just how I like to do it. All right, I'm liking how that sounds. Let's go ahead and click the plus sign again. And let's go and add another string section here. So we added our deep bass section, but I want a more mid violin section here. So let's see what they have here. We'll go to long. And maybe this one. That sounds pretty good. And again, I can play for hours on just sampling these. They sound really good. Let's try the soft mood. Okay, that sounds pretty good, but like before, the beginning comes in a little too fast, so we're going to adjust the attack a little bit. And let's adjust that curve as well. That sounds a lot better. Okay, that sounds pretty good, but right now let's go ahead and add some reverb to this. All right, let's try it with the other three tracks that we've recorded. All right, I think that sounds pretty good. Let's go ahead and record it. Okay, let's solo this track so we can hear it without the other instruments. I want to make some adjustments here. sounds good. Let's adjust the volume a little bit.